The boys are back, never late, with more One Piece.
The One Piece is still real.
It's
So
funny.
One Piece.
It's funny because all the dirty spoiler readers, which is like half the fucking fan base, already know what's going to happen next chapter. So,
That's the thing. I've already seen people online freaking out about what's in the next chapter.
Yeah, me too.
Well, I haven't seen like what's in the chapter they're freaking out about. I've just seen the reactions to it, and they're like, "Oh my god, it's here! It's fine! Like it's happening!" And I'm like, "What's happening?
What's happening?"
You could say that on 80 chapters.
But I guess something big. I've seen some slight like worry about like a certain character's fate, and if I had to guess, it's Law. But we'll get there in a second. Let's start with One Piece 1062, which is our start here in the Egghead Island, our proper first chapter after the introduction. But the cover page, Aokiji is clearly in Whole Cake Island, is what I thought when I saw this.
We called this shit a year ago, I feel like.
I mean, as soon as this cover story started, we're like, are we here because Blackbeard needs Pudding's third eye?
Yeah.
And what do you know? That is indeed the case. However, I think this cover story happened in the past.
Yes.
Which, it's the first time in the entire series where the cover story is like directly related to the current arc. Which means Oda is like stepping his foot on the gas.
Yeah, because usually, like, they'll do the cover story, and then 300 chapters later, you're like, oh my god, it was relevant.
Oh my god, Ace fucked that milkmaid.
Very relevant.
Well, yeah, she's evaporated now. So, that aside, some of the stuff I like in this chapter, I really like Frankie fanboying over Vegapunk. I think, I'm really hoping for some cool Frankie stuff this arc. Or
I need a good Frankie arc, man.
Yeah,
he had some good moments in Dressrosa, but I need some more of them.
He was definitely more minor compared to like the other half of the more important Straw Hats. In Wano, he's probably like bottom 2 used Straw Hats, but you gotta fight.
His big feat in Wano was the ships.
Yeah.
He also ran over Big Mom and then told her to fuck off and blasted her with a laser.
Okay.
They all have good scenes. Brooks still stole the show there because he's such a fucking Chad. So Punk 2 is here to do some plundering, so it seems like... I don't know if you guys feel the same way. I'm still trying to figure out what's up with Vegapunk, and like, or it's all his forms, his 6 paths of pain from Naruto. That is Vegapunk.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just that, maybe he thought he could get more work done by splitting into different personalities, or if maybe he had... This one, I don't think there's anything to support it, but maybe he had personal inhibitions against doing certain kinds of experiments, and maybe that's how he offloads the guilt, is by making a Vegapunk that doesn't care.
Well, Lilith that is good. Lilith is the evil Vegapunk. That's what it's described as.
Right, so hold on. Is Lilith Punk 2?
Lilith is Punk 2.
Okay, the first one we met.
Yeah.
I think there's like a chart later in one of these chapters that goes
It's at the very end of this chapter.
Okay. Well, we'll go over it, because there was also an error. There was 2 errors in this chapter.
Yeah. Kuma's hair was wrong.
Kuma's hair was wrong, and apparently the Atlas's name was wrong on that, but...
the numbers were swapped. They should have been the other way.
These editors gotta keep their eyes sharper.
I mean, it's 1,062 chapters, and this is the first time like a somewhat editorial thing had to come out. That's pretty impressive.
Did y'all see there was a Chopper Sea Beast?
Chopper
Sea
Beast.
There's a Sea Beast that has a chopper hat and reindeer antlers.
Yeah, but he's got like a long face. It's in like in the first 2 pages.
Yeah, he got the chopper hat.
I guess it's a hat. So yeah, like Bradley is right though. They clearly have different personalities. So like, why? Maybe these are originally people that like have a Vegapunk hive mind in them. So like, I don't know, Vegapunk can take over the body, but they still have some like latent personalities. I have no idea.
I think part of it is that what we're going to realize is that maybe these were his assistants or something, and then like he got frustrated about how inefficient they were compared to him, and so decided to split his mind up and Xehanort them. And...
we are getting a little Xehanorty. I also I'm interested to see what Zoro's big demands are, because I don't think we got a follow up to this in this batch of chapters. But we learn officially that Bonnie is Kuma's daughter in this chapter as well.
I did not have that on my prediction sheet.
Which is so I think I knew that they were related. As far as I thought, though, she was like someone that lived in Kuma's kingdom in the past.
I thought like it was an advisor or like something like that.
Yeah, or like Kuma, because Kuma's known as a tyrant, so like maybe Bonnie knew the truth of that story, so she like empathizes with him, like how King Riku was thought to be the villain, but that's because Doflamingo manipulated him and so on. But yeah, I mean, I got hit with the anime mix-up where the parent and the child don't have the same hair color, so I got. So there's a lot of like Utopia vibes in this island as well. But what I'm finding interesting is seeing like the limitations, but also like some of the slightly darker sides with this Utopia. But that comes more into play next chapter. But I'm interested to see where Oda goes with this. But the only other big thing I think was this chapter is we get introduced to Atlas, who likes punching light dragons. I don't understand what her deal is or his deal, but and I still don't quite get what's up with Atlas in the next chapter too. So I think there's still a lot to learn about these separate Vegapunks. But yeah, wow, CP9 coming back into the main story is a huge twist.
Dude, yeah, and Kaku even?
Kaku, my boy.
He can still join the Straw Hats. It's still possible.
It's never too late. Relight the flame of Shandora. We got this. Yeah, so they're taking a Kuma Seraphim to Vegapunk's island, which would be interesting because I thought this would be how we get like Bonnie explaining Kuma's past, but there's also pacifistas here who look like Kuma, so like I wonder where we're going with this also. But overall, just mostly a setup chapter. Anything else y'all got with this chapter y'all wanted to bring up?
God, I just no, not really. It should be noted that like Atlas is noted as violence. It's like they moved that whole section over, so I think they're just aggressive and they get very angry very quickly.
Edison's the thinker, Lilith is the evil.
Yeah.
Shaka the good being number one is interesting to me as well. Like, it's like he split his earthly desires into different forms, and then there must be like a Dr. Vegapunk who is just all about science, but then like what's the thinker all about, or the wise one? I don't know. I guess we'll see.
Man, I just had a ton of fun reading this chapter because this will be the first time I've ever followed an arc along from the beginning.
Yeah,
Yo,
true.
Let's go.
It was a good time to catch up.
Same with Tyler, actually.
Oh,
as far as I know.
No, I thought I started
You started Wano like halfway through.
Yeah.
Okay.
We were already past like we were like a good ways into Act 2 when you showed up.
No, I took a break. I took a break and then I restarted with.
Yeah.
But what they're turning all of the warlords, they're splicing their DNA with Lunarians.
Yes.
Yes.
So we're seeing a lot of Lunarian action.
Yes.
Which also, so next chapter they bring up that Kuma is of a special race. I don't know if that's supposed to be Lunarian too, but he like dyed his hair and cut off his wings, or if
that's what I was wondering.
If there's more going on, but yeah, let's move on to the next chapter where it is properly confirmed that Pudding was kidnapped. So our long-running expectations of this cover story are coming true, which also is making this like one of the most important cover stories in the series because obviously this is gonna go into like end game situation.
Nobody's gonna rescue Pudding.
No one?
Big Mom dead.
But
Sanji, Big Mom Pirate's gone.
Sanji is rescuing her, dude. And
of course.
And then she's gonna return his memories.
Yo, let's go.
It's gonna be pretty cute.
And then he'll remember everybody's a Lunarian.
Oh, everyone is now? Maybe. I mean, again, I have the long-running theory that everyone's from the moon, but that's just my thing. unsubstantiated so far. Also, shout outs to a favorite of Joe's, Cracker, getting bodied over here by Aokiji.
Sex Junior.
Rest in peace to Sex Junior. But, okay, one thing I have, like, my main complaint about this stretch of chapters is the pacing of the Luffy group sections, where I think they're too fast, and it actually impacts how I feel about, like, the Bonnie scene later this chapter. Because if you go to the end of last chapter, like, Atlas is being all aggressive, and it seems like she's going to fight them a little bit, or, like, engage on them in some way, but then you cut to this chapter, and you have, Chopper, Bonnie, and Luffy Fat, they look great. I like Fat Bonnie's very funny, and I like how Chopper goes into Kung Fu form to like, fit their shapes. But then Atlas is just chilling here, so, like, it feels like that transition between those was very fast, and then it's like, oh, we're wearing clothes now, and oh, there's a pacifista now, and, like, it's just, the pacing here is a little too quick.
Yeah, but you skipped over when they all look fat, and she goes, all 4 of you are stuffed to bursting. And Jinbei goes, no, I always look like this.
Yeah, that's me IRL.
Jinbei's dry humor is so good. There was a time where people did not respect or like this man, and I just hope that we are well past that time. Yeah, there was a time where people were like, Jinbei's boring. I don't know if he can join the Straw Hat. Like, how is he going to fit in? And there was also a time where they were doing, like, character polls, and Jinbei wouldn't even get, like, top 50, I don't think.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And that's, like, after Fishman Island, which was, like, a big amount of Jinbei content at that point. So, like, yeah, I've always been a fan.
But one thing I am excited for in the No One Piece movie is actually to see Jinbei with the crew a little bit more, because he's in that one.
Is he in that one?
Yeah.
Oh, right. I've seen his costume in that one.
Yeah.
That will be nice. I'm enjoying it here. So, do y'all suppose that these little walking guys, because we can't see their face, are the automaton from the Enocon cover story?
Yes.
I wonder.
I bet they are.
Yeah, they got little clanking as they walk.
Yeah.
Tyler, are you familiar with that cover story? Because it's be a manga only thing.
What are these?
So there's a cover story where Enel goes to the moon. And he discovers a bunch of automaton that were made on Earth and then rode balloons up to the moon. But then he discovered ruins about ancient civilizations that have, like, the ancient weapons potentially in those ruins. Joe is currently looking to find the cover story to link for you, but
I have it. I have the Wikipedia page. I'm sending it to you.
He's so fast. There's no one faster than Joe.
Don't say that in bed.
How do y'all feel about these futuristic outfits the Straw Hats got going on?
Oh, this is the part I look forward to in every arc, seeing the outfit.
Yeah.
I love them.
But Jinbei just being in a floral pattern, and he's like, this is great.
Yeah. I love... Chopper looks cute as fuck.
I'm in the future! Yeah. He's
What
adorable.
do all the letters on their things mean?
SSG.
That's a good point.
Wait, no, that pops up in Punk Hazard, no? SSG. That's what the dude suits had, like those guys that are in those suits that look like a bunch of stripes. I think it stands for
Super Science Government? I don't know.
Wait, isn't SSG the name of the project that the Seraphims were?
Let's find out.
Yes.
That sounds familiar.
Google boy, please Google for me.
Going. Special Science Group.
Okay.
Wow, that was easy.
What was the code name for the Seraphims?
That was
Project Dolphin.
Sword. No.
Project Dolphin. The real name became so much lamer, just like in real life.
Occupation separate.
Well, no matter.
I'll find it. I'll let you know, but keep going.
So Kuma shows up here, and he just immediately chases down Luffy. And fun fact, I dressed up as Kuma this Halloween, which is perfect because I had the Kuma outfit lined up since, like, last year. So, like, very convenient that he's very important in the plot right around this month. But when Kuma shows up, he's shooting the laser. Luffy recognizes a pacifista, of course, because one of them has, Kuma has ruined their life, and then a bunch of pacifistas beat them up in Sambodi. So like that definitely stings. But
he did the I'm a firing my laser mouth.
And I like the panel of Bonnie like going reverse to kick him out of the way. I just think it looks stylish. Never mind that it's like an egregious panty shot, but hey, that's just how she's dressed.
That's the thing. It's a double whammy. It's the panty shot, but also I was like, that looks fucking awesome.
It's everything you could want, truthfully. So Luffy is confused, like, oh, why shouldn't I be fighting him? He's just a robot. But it leads to the reveal to the crew that Kuma is her father. And we get to see him here when he was a full human. And to me, it looks like he's wearing one of those coats that, like, Caesar wears, like an SSG coat. So...
I thought that was the kind of shawl that the revolutionaries were wearing when they were at Sabo's Island and they saw it being blown up or whatever.
That is a good point. Because, when... In the Ace Sabo Luffy flashback, there's a period where like the revolutionaries are sailing by Zoro's island, and they are wearing these cloaks.
Also, no bear ears.
No barriers?
He has no bear ears.
What does that mean?
Like he has no ears of a bear.
Oh shit! I mean, that's the thing though. Is that just his hat, or is that his actual?
I think
ears?
it's just his hat. Also, his hair is black again. Am I going crazy? Is his hair supposed to be black or white?
No, his hair is supposed to be black. The Seraphim's hair was supposed to be white.
Okay.
Because, like, Kuma's natural hair color is black, and so are the pacifistas. So, this is a cool reveal, but I'm more interested than I am sad for her, because, like, we got here so quickly.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where the pacing of these Luffy sections kind of hurt a little bit. We're learning a lot about this island, or, like, we're doing a lot of shenanigans. But, okay, one thing I wanted to ask is, like, I feel like Oda is doing something here with how fast Kuma starts hunting down Luffy. And there was a line here that I thought also spoke to that. Is that supposed to get the death penalty? Seems like excessive punishment in page 6 and 7 of this chapter. I feel like there might be like a theme in this arc of like, what are the sacrifices or drawbacks of a science-based utopia? Because this feels like kind of exploring a little bit like what happens when you have automated police services or police force, and it's also maybe a bit of a commentary on police brutality, which is a thing that's ongoing.
Yeah.
But I don't know exactly where this would lead to, but it's just something I would note as something maybe to look out for. I think that and free will, as far as like your creations, are the themes of this arc so far. But the part that makes this chapter a real banger is this completely unexpected law interlude.
Yeah.
Oh, shameless. They're just trying to sell Treasure Cruise units.
Sold!
Female law.
They improved law. Can you believe it?
I know.
As soon as I saw that panel, I was like, I just know some fuckers out there are frothing over this. It's me. I'm the fucker.
So Law is in combat with the Blackbeard pirates, and a lot of the artwork here I also think is really cool. I like this second page reintroducing Burgess and how he's like intercut with the panels, and he's lifting a giant ass mountain. We get to see actually the fruits of some of these Blackbeard pirates in the next chapter too, which is really cool.
Ortiz notably got a fruit between Dressrosa and now.
True, he did not have one before. He's also looking more ripped, I think.
And it's like,
he's got the strong shark fruit.
Yeah.
Considering like some normal One Piece humans have what we would consider super strength.
Yeah.
Having the super strength fruit in One Piece is probably like a huge next level up.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, a lot of these fruits are pretty simple, and I saw some people like complaining that all these fruits are too simplistic. But I kind of like it as like these are the kind of fruits you see in like comic book like villains, like the more simple stuff that when applied in like a crew could be interesting. Because
yeah,
even Burgess, or not Burgess, Van Auger has the teleportation fruit, but when you apply that to a sniper that can snipe a seagull that is literally halfway across the ocean from an island, that seems like a really good combination.
Yeah. It's he's prepping up that final showdown, I think, between the crews.
Yes. And I really like something here, and I want to see how y'all feel about it. It's when Law uses hockey to repel the effects of the disease, or the fruit.
Yeah.
I like this because I complained in the past how it's like, how come Big Mom and Kaido can use hockey to repel lost fruit? Like, what's up with that? At least there's a consistency here where we've reached a point in the story where, like, if you have enough hockey, you can resist some of these ridiculous fruit powers that kind of change your composition, or like change your inner being. I imagine you could also do this maybe to like Sugar's fruit, which is ridiculous, or like use it to power through Perona's fruit or something like that. So, like, how do y'all feel about the reiteration of that application of hockey?
You know, at first I was like, oh, you know, that feels a little cheap. But the more I thought about it, the more I liked it. Because here's the thing. Even since the beginning, One Piece will trumps everything in fights. Always.
Yeah.
Like, even since the beginning, it's always been like, when Luffy's fighting someone, it's that whole thing about the clash of ideologies and who has the stronger will. And hockey is just a physical manifestation of that. So I guess it kind of makes sense.
And it's like, I don't think it turns it into like a power level versus power level thing necessarily, even though like willpower has always been the power level. I just think it's like a fun way to balance out the ridiculous abilities, because like Law's ability is so bullshit, you know? Like, it's just kind of nutty compared to other
it's
powers.
insane.
So like I like the idea, and like this also, like you could just wipe out, like, would Kaido lose to this if this wasn't a mechanic? So like I think it's like a necessary evil to counterbalance some of more of the effect-based devil fruits. And I picture like I have a strong understanding of what I am and like what form my body should take, so I'm repelling this notion that I'm now a toy, or that you can operate on me in your room or whatever. But yeah,
No boobs.
no boobies. Which my concern though, and this is like just a straight up plot hole if you ask me. How come Law's crewmates are also not women next chapter?
They are. Oh, not next chapter.
I think next chapter they're back to normal.
Well, Law could have fruit them the disease out potentially.
There's no implication that that's how that works. Like, I could hockey pulse your devil fruit effect away. I think that had to be like an individual thing.
Yeah, maybe they're all just strong hockey users, or maybe like it's
They're
just
not.
Law.
You cannot tell me the Heart Pirates are strong hockey users. That's bullshit. I love this introductory panel of Blackbeard in this chapter. I think it's just visually very good. He's on top of Doc Hugh and Stronger, and I just like that kind of visual metaphor of like, this is his own crewmate, but he's still roughing them up because like everyone is a accessory to his rise.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't know what y'all's vibe of Blackbeard is. I don't think he's like... I don't think he dislikes his crewmates or anything, or like he would turn on them if he didn't have to. But it just like, he is an emperor, and they are subordinates to him. They're not like, I don't think they're close friends or anything.
If he gives you an order, you're gonna do it, including if that's, let me ride your ass into battle.
Yeah.
I've really been liking Blackbeard, but like it's very obvious. Otis is like, all right, Blackbeard's coming up soon. We're gonna be using him a lot lately. Like he's moving and grooving.
We are getting Shanks and Blackbeard content out the wazoo these days.
We have gotten more Blackbeard content in the past like 2 months. I think the entirety of One Piece.
Maybe.
Maybe. Close to it.
I could see it.
Nah, not quite. Cause like, he has his one-on-one fight with Ace. He's got the cool introduction to Jaya, but then he also shows up in Impel Down. He's in the war a lot near the end. So we're coming up on it, though. We definitely have more Shanks content than ever, though. I will say that.
Yeah.
So,
we got a whole chapter where he actually did stuff.
I know. That was crazy. From downtown.
Once again, Blackbeard just, I think, looks better and better as he keeps doing stuff. Like, I think Oda's, like, his personality and the way he looks is just matching up really nicely.
Yeah, and knowing Blackbeard fights, I actually expect him to take a little bit of a beating here, right? Because like, what is a Blackbeard fight if he's not getting his ass kicked a little bit?
Yeah.
Even against Boa, he was kind of cornered by her ability. He had to like negotiate a hostage situation, and he's an emperor, so I've kind of always liked that element. It's something I really like in like Yoshikage Kira, where like, yeah, I'm strong, but I'm not gonna get past everything for free.
That's the thing. I really like that he's not winning for free, because if he was already an unstoppable force, there would be no reason for him to go around the ocean collecting more power, you know?
And, you know, if he is our final or, like, penultimate antagonist, then having this rise with Luffy where, like, you got to see him struggle, too, and then they beat at the end for their final clash would be really cool. But, that's all I had to say about that chapter. What y'all got? Tyler, how'd you like that chapter? You're quiet boy today.
I enjoyed that chapter. That's about it. I y'all said it all for me already. I like seeing all the new fruits that they have, and Van Augur terrifies me, to be honest.
I am looking forward to a potential badass sniper duel between Sniper King Usopp himself and Van Augur, when Van Augur's teleporting everywhere and Usopp's having like...
I think him getting his Warport fruit, the only potential way for Soga King to defeat him is to get Future Sight Hockey.
Yeah.
That would be so cool, actually. He has to predict where he's gonna teleport. That's kind of cool.
That'd be badass.
I'm into it.
And I hope maybe for that fight that Usopp will have a Devil Fruit slingshot.
Dude, we're with Vegapunk right now, and he invented...
Like, if there was ever a time for it to happen, this would be it. And he hasn't really gotten an upgrade since the time skip, right?
Yeah.
Well, he got observation hockey that has since gone unused since Dressrosa. So oh man, a Devil Fruit slingshot would be badass, and also Conqueror hockey, because that would be fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Only while he wears the Soga King mask.
Oh, stop! I can only get so erect. Soga King coming back in the post time skip would be so hype.
I think the battle between Blackbeard and the Straw Hats is going to be emphasizing like why hockey needs to be developed, because we haven't really seen any of the Blackbeard pirates use hockey for what we
Yes, they are all about devil fruits, and the line Kaido said that stuck to me is like, yeah, devil fruits are cool, but they're not going to carry you. It takes hockey/will to reach that endpoint, because like Roger did it just on that, so you can't slack on that. It's interesting. I also really need Brook and Robin to have armament hockey by the end of the story, or I'm gonna be a little huffy. It's about fucking time. But let's move on to the final chapter here of our... Actually, before we do that, I have the Kid interlude, right? So, Kid got an SBS today, or like we got it today, where they kind of went through his backstory. And I wanted to... I posted a TLDR on the backstory in our little One Piece chat. It's not the craziest thing, but I wanted to ask y'all's opinion on that backstory, the fact that it didn't come up in the Wano arc, and how you feel about that, because it's been a bit of a discussion. Kid fans are not very happy.
Yeah, I understand why they're not happy, but man, I don't think the Kid backstory really needed to take up more of what was already the longest arc in One Piece.
Yeah. I agree. Like, if it's just that, if he wrote it like, oh, he was related to Vegapunk in some way, that would be upsetting. But
right.
Which is our theory for a long time, but he's not. So it's like, oh, okay, whatever. Like, I kind of... Oda's at the point now where it's like, I have to finish the story, gang. Like, I can't dawdle any longer. So...
Ultimately... Go on, Joe.
I was going to say that's probably the last we're going to see of Kid up until the end of the series, if ever again.
I wouldn't guess that. Things are kind of crazy right now. I honestly can't predict who will be important again, because the thing is... I expected that Law and Blackbeard thing to be the last we see of that for a while. We actually touch on it this chapter, and I'm pretty sure we jump back on it next chapter that we have to read. So we are in a different era of One Piece right now. But my comments on that is like, I don't think every character needs a big backstory. I want them to have a lot of action in the real time. However, here's where Tyler's like, wait a minute, you said you wanted a Kaido backstory, and I did because Kaido was a main antagonist, and I wanted him to have like a bigger backstory. But Kaido's backstory in general, I think, is a little misunderstood by a lot of readers, but that's the story for another day. With Kid, it's like that was already such a big arc that I can see why it was kind of irrelevant for an arc that already had 100 characters. So like, but you know, I will say that there was a good moment in the arc that this could have been slotted in, even if it's like a 3 to 4 page version of the backstory that's like a little shoddily told and quick. And I think that moment would have been when Killer was fighting Hawkins. That would have been a good moment to see how the Kid Pirates were formed. I think that would have been nice because the theme of that fight was kind of like Killer's trust in Kid, and how he was willing to put up with Hawkins' bullshit and fight for his captain because he knows his captain will get the job done, and that is how it played out. But if you had like a little bit of this flashback then, that would have added to the emotional impact when like Killer already got so improved in the Wano arc. He was like just a dude before, but like it earned quite a bit of sympathy with the small amount of time that it had to invest in him, and I think this would have sealed the deal. So I do think Oda could have slipped this in a little bit, even though I'm against the idea that like, oh, everyone needs their backstory spelled out. Like Capone didn't need his backstory spelled out. He was just cool. He was just good for the arc he was in.
Yeah.
But that's all I got about that. Let's move on to the last chapter here, which again, I opened the chapter and I was like, wait, we're back to the fight? What is going on? Oda has never really cut to a fight like this, like a side fight in the middle of an arc.
Let alone the beginning of an arc when we're still setting up what the setting even is.
Which, like, almost half implies that, like...
This is going to be affected in some way. Like, it's going to come together in some manner, right?
Either that, or this arc is going to have a lot more cutting away than we're used to. Like, this is going to be a common theme, maybe.
What if Law gets his ass kicked and he has to call for Luffy? Like...
Well, I mean, it's too early for that.
Is it? They could have exchanged snails.
Shit, when did this happen, though? Was this, like, in the past?
No, I think this is happening now while they're on Egghead.
I think so, yeah.
Then, yeah, like... I don't know, like, hey, Luffy, get here. It's like, Luffy's like, well, I have, like, another 2 days of adventuring to do on this island, so, good luck.
But Luffy would... If someone called for help, that's his friend. Luffy would never leave him behind.
Well, I mean, yeah, I was like, what about Vivi? But it's like, Vivi's nowhere to be found, so who knows?
Yeah.
I do like, this opening segment. The biggest thing about this chapter that I could not fucking believe was that the Heart Pirates did something. I was actually... I was taken aback.
I kind of like it because they actually, if you think about it, they're built to counter Devil Fruit users because their ship goes under the water, so they can't be affected by them there, and then they have techniques to fire seawater at them to stop them from doing stuff.
Which, that's normal human bodies can do that, but it's fine.
Yeah.
Water Luffy needed a transformation for that, but I guess we're if he was born in the North Blue, it wouldn't have been a big deal. But yeah, I love this. Like, they're not doing anything crazy. Beppo still hasn't done shit. He's actually being, like, carried later.
He's fucking Speedwagon.
Beppo is so bad. I can't believe he's in the same...
Oh, no, he's actually using his ears to pick up where Von Iger is moving to and telling them where he's going.
True. Okay, I'll give Beppo some credit. I just want too long Beppo to hit a motherfucker really good just once. Also, is Stronger for real dead? I think, like, Locke cuts through him.
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask. Is this horse dead?
No.
No, he's stronger. He's strong.
Yeah. He says Nihi, he ain't dead.
Nihi? But, like, I think Doc Q says, like, are you dead, Stronger? He goes, Nihi. Too bad you were a good horse. I don't know what's happening. This fight just makes me very happy, even if it's brief. And, again, I got a whiff from the internet that we are not done with this fight, so...
You see, he does some nice Shockville.
Yeah.
On the next page.
And I like that, how, like, Law is already incorporating some of these awakening techniques from before. And Blackbeard is getting his ass kicked, just like how we always want.
Yeah.
So
like he just helped take down 2 other warlords, and they've been in the game a long time. Blackbeard.
so I mean that's all for that. This fight will be ongoing. I wonder how it's. I saw the way I think it'll turn out is Law's gonna be on the upper hand, but here's the big question. Clearly, Law's not gonna beat Blackbeard here, right? Like I think if he does, then Oda's playing some 7D chess with like what he wants to portray Blackbeard as, because like to have Luffy's like equal / slightly under him be Blackbeard at this point would be a little sus. There is the chance, out of all the deaths in One Piece, which there aren't that many, Blackbeard has like 2 or 3 of them to his name, if you count like his involvement in Ace as well. Is Law potentially gonna die here?
Dude, I hope not.
I
don't need that in my life right now.
But like he's gotta be after the Ope fruit, right? Like
right. Oh, of course. It's like the most busted shit ever, and it's got the immortality technique that has to be used in the story at some point.
That gun is loaded. It's like heating up in the drawer.
The Chekhov's gun is being played with a toddler right now, and the toddler has it pointed at his face.
Yeah, the safety's off. It's ready to go.
Mom and Dad are frozen still. They don't know what to do.
I also like in this chapter that Pudding has her hair parted, so her third eye is showing more.
Yeah.
Like, so she has more confidence in showing off that, whereas in all of Whole Cake, it was hidden away.
Ironic, isn't it? Because that's why
her
she got
hair is parted as much as her shirt is.
Yeah.
Hey, that's an almost married woman who is 16. You freak.
I'm just pointing out what Oda drew.
Yeah, it's true. She's just straight up here. Do you suppose if you pan over to the cell next to her, Kobe's over there?
Maybe.
What's up with him? This is 2 weeks after Kobe was captured.
Maybe. I could see it.
Either he's right over there, or he's already been sold to Cross Guild for shenanigans in the future.
He's a new jester.
Now,
right next to Bucky.
Alternatively, Blackbeard captures Law after he wins. The question is, why doesn't he just auto-kill Law? But
oh, you know why? It's because the person that uses the op fruit dies when they do the technique if they use it on themselves.
Ooh, he wants Law to do the technique on him?
Yeah.
Oh, that would suck.
Yeah.
No, please.
But then I guess that makes sense because he captures the entire crew. He's like, I'm gonna kill your crew unless you do this to me. Like that's what it's gonna be, right?
That's really good too, because the crew just got highlighted as like someone the reader should pay attention to a little more.
Yeah.
And I've been in this game for a while now, y'all. I know how Oda does some of these things, so like,
yeah,
it's not a coincidence he would do that. That's an interesting thought. If Law dies while making Blackbeard immortal, that is a double whammy of pain for me. Like that is such a brutal death to a definite fan favorite and one of mine. It's just like, yeah, I mean that would make sense, right? But then that leads to an interesting scenario where Law and Kobe would be captured, and how Kiji would be returning to Fololed Island. That is 3 potential sword members together. My theory sensor is popping off. This could be cool if stuff is wacky with Law and his true motives in the story. But that's a story for another day. Meanwhile, Akainu literally becoming a volcano as he's ready to erupt on these pirates, but he's stuck doing paperwork. I kind of like how the Magma Man has been boiling over for half the story, just ready to pop.
He's so upset. He's getting the JoJo menacing notes.
He is. That's them. Undeniably, he's become a JoJo villain. I can't wait.
He is a volcano waiting to erupt. You're right. He's dormant all series until he ain't.
Yeah.
As soon as he shows up, some more people are gonna fucking die.
Oda has definitely done that a couple times where he's like, I'm going to base you off your power a little bit and base your story off your power. Just, some of that good shit. So, on to the follow-up to the Kuma stuff. I like how all the Straw Hats are either young or old. Young Jinbei being here, to me, feels really intentional as a way to remind you how he looks like for the eventual Seraphim Jinbei that's going to shock the reader, because like, oh,
Seraphim
shit.
Jinbei next chapter? Coming in hot?
If Seraphim Jinbei is next chapter, then like Oda is trying to kill me because that's too many things.
That
back
would be
to back.
that would also be really funny because you can get a gag where like, that's the real Jinbei, and they're pointing at each other, kind of a deal. Even
Oh
though
my
one of them
God.
has wings, and Luffy and Chopper can't tell the difference.
Chopper has shown himself to be really stupid at recognizing people, so like, it could
His
happen.
wisdom very low.
Luffy is pretty bad at recognizing people, but he also was able to see through Peckham's disguise in Whole Cake. So
Well, I don't think that was much of a disguise, but yeah. Well,
yeah,
you're
but
right.
Soga King though.
That's true.
Who knows?
Well,
Who knows
he's
with
a
this
whole
guy?
different person.
I like the idea of Bonnie aging Chopper past the life form of a reindeer, and then he just dies. I don't know if she can age someone to death or if there's like a limitation there. But so we get the story of Tyrant Kuma. We've gotten the hints and pieces of this through like SBSs and V-Ray cards throughout the years. Now, Bonnie says he was affiliated with the Revolutionary Army until the Navy captured him and sentenced him to imprisonment. And then yada yada, the cyborg stuff happened.
He was allowed to return to freedom as a warlord of the sea.
So, like, Bonnie seems to say that this isn't the full story. What do y'all think is missing? Like, if we had to guess from, like, this picture that the world's painting of Kuma.
Zero clue.
Nah, no idea.
Same.
Like-
I was asking in the hopes.
Yeah, the only thing I can think of in my head is that like Abe was gonna do his 16 hell bullets technique that he did in the
Ooh.
previous thing, and he's like, whoa, wait a minute, let's talk this out. Gives himself over to Vegapunk as freedom, realizes it's not great for him, and then saves the Straw Hats, and that's what turns him into a full pacifist at the end.
The people drove him off, though, which is interesting. So it's
Yeah.
like when he was a king, some sort of King Riku-esque, like he had to take the fall for something happened. Because he never seemed like a bad guy. Like, even... Like,
Or-
the thing with the name Tyrant Kuma is, like, Kuma never even gave me remotely the idea that he could do evil. He seemed like a nice guy who was just doing his job.
It could be like there was something in the Sorbet Kingdom that like he like a mining operation kind of a nonsense that they needed to do, and he just like worked his like kind of thing about King Riku when he was just going around like getting people's money to pay off of Doflamingo or someone.
Yeah.
It could be that kind of situation where it's like I have to get all this stuff or we're all going to die.
What if he, like, had to overwork his people to pay the
Yeah.
celestial tribute?
Yes,
Right?
that's what I'm thinking.
Because that's become
It's-
a bigger thing in the story recently, so...
Mhm.
Okay. We'll go with that, and then Bonnie knows the truth, and I mean...
Bonnie's a Jedi now.
She's also his daughter, so
Yeah.
that'll also do. As for his special race, no idea. I mean, if it's a Lunarian, he's dyeing his hair, I guess. But, I mean, we've been introduced to Lunarians before. I feel like Oda wouldn't hide that. He would just say Lunarian if that was the case, so... I don't know. Anywho, on to the rest of the chapter. We got a nice ass shot of Bonnie as we transition from here.
Love it.
We get taken into the flying lab in Egghead. I don't know what's up with the thing with the lab is like, why is there a ring of like, is it magnetically charged, that like floating ring around it? This place is more futuristic than our world, which is interesting because you wouldn't really expect that from One Piece. You think like the future would be closer to us, but Vegapunk is way ahead.
And like my first thought was exactly that. This was way more futuristic than real life, and it kind of made me mad for a second. It's like, man, a lot of the people in the One Piece world's lives could probably be way better if a lot more of this tech was shared. But
Well,
I mean,
that the point, right? That's what Vegapunk's always complaining about. He doesn't have the funds or time.
What if it's not funds or time? What if it's from the ancient kingdom and they don't want it, the government doesn't want any of it coming out?
Oh, if this was from the ancient kingdom, this place would be evaporated as soon as possible.
But but Vegapunk could be like, I can supply you with what you need to keep the people in line, but I keep everything that's on this island, right? Like,
Well, they are killing him now that he finished his job. Like,
Right.
they're coming for his ass to I
You're
guess
right.
cut off that thing. So could be something like that.
and like at this point, it's just like, well, the Straw Hats are getting that pretty big hat now. We should probably shut down everything at this point. They're blowing up islands and whatnot.
I didn't comment on it, but it is interesting also that they're trying to kill him, because it's like, are they positive he didn't put contingency devices on the Seraphims? Because
Yeah.
this shit could be really bad, and the world government has done a lot of dumb shit in this story. That might take the cake if they didn't double check the Seraphims for something like that. I guess we'll see. Y'all, I like this cute scene where they're reminiscing on the Sky Island.
Yeah.
It's
And
adorable.
Frankie's like, it's a first time for me.
I like when stuff like that in the story comes up, like when they were talking about King Cobra and
Phoebe?
the Straw Hats who didn't know, like they had to chime in their own way. Like I like the idea that they've heard these stories of past adventures, but
I do also
I love
like
that stuff.
that
Yeah.
there's a little bit of I meant to mention this at the beginning of these chapters, but like the outfits kind of give off those Germa vibes, kind of.
yes, yeah,
So
Which,
you
I mean,
kind of get, which makes sense because
yeah.
they work together.
they were both in Mads.
Yeah.
The
Wait.
swordsmen are sus. They stay on the boat. Both of the swordsmen do.
Yeah.
So everyone's gonna get captured. Zoro Brook buddy cop adventure. I'm fucking ready.
Aim for the clouds.
It's gonna. Oh man, a Brook. Oh man, if this arc has both Brook and Frankie content, I don't want to hear no one complain about how Oda paces out the things.
Yeah.
I saw a post that so like as we get to the next page, we get their new outfits for the other half of the crew,
God damn, Robin is too much right now.
and Brooke is like stays on the boat, and everybody gets to see Nami in Robin's panties.
Actually crushing, and then this is why Oda had to sideline him for the
Yeah.
gag.
He would turn to stone or like get nosebleeds in
Yo, why?
Christmas.
Like Robin still has the demon child look. Everybody has light clothes. She's all black.
Yeah.
She's
What's
so
up with the
cool.
400 on her?
Yeah, she's got a 400. She's the only one with a number. I mean, it's probably just a design thing.
Yeah.
Nami looks real cute. This is up there with a Nami design. Usopp looks great.
Yeah. And then
I like
Sanji
Cyclops
just gets the
Frankie.
aloha shirt.
Sanji and Brooke need to go have some beers at the beach. Yeah,
You need
s-
to tell him about him.
yeah. Sorry, Jinbei.
I like how we bring back Perv Frankie because he's like, you look like a perv in any outfit. He's like, stop, you're making me blush.
Did you do you get that perv thing? Because a lot of English readers that flies over their head. So here's a little lesson. Perv is the word for perv is hentai.
Yeah.
And that's also the word for freak or stranger. So the pun is like he thinks they're calling him like a freak because he likes being like a weird cyborg man. He's into that shit.
Y'all,
Yeah.
this is the first outfit Frankie has worn pants.
That's fucked, actually.
Like we can't see his legs no more.
This motherfucker wore a suit and then put his hair into a cannon and proceeded
Yeah.
to still not wear pants in Dressrosa. So like, it's a big deal. But okay, the last little bit here is that Vegapunk is in contact with dragons. So this motherfucker is playing both sides, so he always comes out on top. What do we?
Sounds familiar.
What do we suppose his deal with dragon is?
Isn't dragon like symbolize dragon symbolizes victory, doesn't it? Is that what you said?
No.
Dragon the character.
Yeah, but like, does it like? I don't know. No, I'm gonna shut up now.
You might be mixing some things, but he also says like his death is imminent.
Yeah, he knows they're coming to kill him.
I guess so, and but like he also expects them to succeed. So it'd be kind of wild that I waited my whole life for this guy to show up, and then Lucci kills him.
Be that wild.
I'd be a little flabbergasted to say the least.
Vegapunk Lilith as the next Straw Hat. Where are the theories at? Where are they coming in? Why have they posted?
I mean, Lilith would be a cool ad, I guess. No one's joining the
Once
Straw
again,
Hats
which is
aside from Vivi and the Three Samurai.
Yeah, I think it's more of like he's been doing as much as he can with the world government. I feel like he did as much as he could with, God, what's his name? Judge. It was like, Judge is too crazy. I have to go. I'm going to join the world government because they're separate entities. It's gotten to the point now where the world government, it's like, this is too much now. I can't keep doing this for them, so now I have to go give this to Dragon. Like, he's going down the list almost.
Thing is, the way he's talking to Dragon is so familiar. So, like, they've been in contact before. Which, like, is Vegapunk a good guy? He's been playing, like, the government, like... But then it's like, if that's true, then the government doesn't have as much as we thought going into this final conflict, because, like, when they unleash the Seraphims, it's like, oh my god, yeah, they have, like, a nuke that they can drop from the sky, like, they seem scary. But if Vegapunk's been sabotaging all their technology since the start, I feel like it's like, what do they have going for them in this end? So, like, that seems a little too easy, if that's the case. But,
I mean, there's got to be, like, a hole in the Death Star somewhere, always.
True.
So, like, it's just more of, like, he's gonna, like, here's the envelope that you must read at this precise location with the sun at this angle to read how to shut down these things, or whatever. Like,
and then I guess his story is, like, scientist who committed evil because it funded good. Like,
yeah.
I think that's an interesting way to take him. It also lines up with everything that we know about him so far.
Also seems like Shaka, number one, is, like, definitely the head Vegapunk.
Yeah, but they all, like, all the branches went into, like, a final Dr. Vegapunk. I don't know if it's, like...
Yeah, that was weird.
Do you think there's, like, a central one? Or do you think that they all together create the concept of Vegapunk?
I think all together they're Vegapunk. Like, I think it's less of a combination, more of a split off from one kind of a chart. I don't know. I think going forward is going to be very interesting. I think this is, like, the big, like, heavy lore dump that we've been waiting for.
Oh, I'm so juicy for it. And hey, we're only 5-ish days away.
Congrats, everyone. Yeah.
Well, y'all, that's all my notes. Do y'all have anything you'd like to bring up before we wrap this shit up?
I'm done.
I hope we get some more Robin shots next chapter. That's
yes.
Yeah. Tyler, you got anything?
There's gonna be a truly evil Vegapunk person, and it's they're gonna look like the other member of Daft Punk, and that's the bad guy for this arc.
Ooh.
Oh wait, that's actually a good call out.
Yeah.
I know you just came up with that just to say something, but that's really good.
Wait, his name's gotta be Daft something, like Vega Daft.
Oh, come on, get out of town.
Oh,
nah.
Oh wait, hold on. No. Joe is right. So if we look at the last chapter, we can see all of them are roughly based on, like, some of the 7 sins, but it only shows 6 of their splits.
Yeah.
The 7th split is sloth, which goes against, science and shit and, like, being lazy. So yeah, the main antagonist to Punk is the, like, man of or woman of productivity is non-productive.
Yeah.
Wait,
procrastination.
That's actually also good, because like, that seems like something Vegapunk would be so against.
Yeah,
I've got years of practice now. I can just say nearly true bullshit to get Willer excited.
I mean, you tried. You put effort in here.
I do think that's right, though. Plus, like, 7 is, like, a real more wholly rounded number than 6 is usually.
Here's the thing. These aren't sins, though. The thing that's weird about me is, like, what are these classifications? It's good, evil, thinker, wisdom, violence, and greed. Like, I don't see...
I think it's a weird spread.
Yeah.
I think it's all the things he needed to be a good scientist, and he cherry-picked those traits and put them into each of them. Like, he has to be good and evil because sometimes he has to be fundamentally morale and understand what's good for people, but also sometimes he has to make an evil decision to forward that good. Intelligence and wisdom is kind of self-explanatory because it's like, I have to be smart enough to do this, and I have to know how to use it in this circumstance. Yeah. And then you have violence, which is like, sometimes you just gotta be really aggressive with your science. And what was the last one? Greed. Yeah. I need to get my shit funded. Like, it's pretty, yeah.
I like that take. Well, I mean, I don't know if Sloth fits into that, but I could see if one of the Vegapunks is the villain and all the other Vegapunks are, like, allies, I think that makes for, like, a pretty interesting conceptual arc. So that could be cool.
Man, Willer, this shit's going to look great in Pyre Warriors 5. Or whatever one.
Pirate Warriors 5 is going to be
Can't
such a
wait.
good game.
Mhm.
Like, you could just throw, like, updated Kaido and Big Mom and Luffy movesets, and we already have a banger game, and then you have Demonio Robin, and we're cooking. We're
Yeah.
cooking
Do you think
fast.
5 would come when One Piece is done, or like when the final arc comes out and then we get DLC for the last stuff?
I think they should do it when it's done at this point. But hey,
I hope so.
I
hope
just
so.
I just hope they do it at all because they almost didn't
Yeah.
before. So,
yeah.
I would be down with 2 more Pirate Warriors because
Ultimate Pirate Warriors, where it's like a big one.
yeah, and then a One Piece fighting game.
Yeah. What about One Piece fighting game first, then Ultimate
Yeah,
Pirate Warriors?
let's get something new. All right, that wraps us up. We'll catch you guys next break week.
Yeah. See you in December.
Yeah, bye bye.
Bye.